And let's just say a couple with a couple young kids, maybe 6 to 10-ish range, nice little range. And they're going to, or let's just say a older couple are going to come to Morristown for the first time. They've heard about it. They heard this podcast and they say, that sounds like a cool place. Did such a great job describing it. I want to go visit it. So, what are some of the must do activities, sites, places, perhaps places to sleep? So, we got to put our bed in the head for a weekend, restaurants. For me, I have to have a coffee shop. So, we'll talk about that after. But what would be some of the top 10 lists that you would suggest for this family and then perhaps for this couple?
Well, lodging, of course, we have a lot of the major chains, a
Of
lot of the
course.
major flags. We also have a lot of vacation rentals,
Okay.
Airbnbs, VRBOs.
Okay.
So if you want a home environment, there are plenty of those around. You just get on their websites, type in Cherokee Lake, and they're going to tell you where it is.
Right.
All I would say, as for coffee shops, we have quite a few.
Okay.
And I am a coffee addict, so I have tried them all and can recommend all of them.
You and I are gonna be best buds then, because 'cause I'm a
Okay.
coffee guy. So I haven't even
I
picked up my coffee here, and there's my logo.
well,
All right, cheers. Yeah,
because I can't play favorites,
okay,
I'll tell you in person my favorite.
okay, alright.
Some of the
Uh,
must-sees beside outdoor activities,
okay,
brand new attraction that is still deciding what hours they're going to be open, but you can schedule tours, is the Grove Wood Baseball Museum.
oh, really? Wow,
Oh, this place is so awesome. It
yeah,
is all the private collection of a local real estate developer who just happens to be one of the good friends of my boss here at the chamber.
okay,
His collection got too big and his wife told me he had to do something with it. So he rented a space in one of our shopping centers
uh-huh,
and has, I don't know who designed it for him, but they did an excellent job. He has artifacts. He has one of the uniforms from several movies. He has, it's just, I'm speechless when I talk about this because it is just so incredible. You could spend half a day in this museum looking at everything. He
very
has
cool.
the original seats from Crosley Field, which I loved being from Southwest Ohio because I saw my first professional baseball game at Crosley Field. He has seats from everywhere. I think he's got seats from Ebbets Field. He has all kinds of uniforms. He does special meet and greets with Hall of Famers. It's just an incredible museum. And you would think, oh, baseball museum, it's only going to be the guys and the kids. Uh-uh. There was a group in this week that was predominantly women, and they have commented all over Facebook about how cool this museum it was, and they had a great time, and everybody should see this museum, and it's free.
Wow, very nice. That's wonderful, wonderful.
Another must-see is the Crockett Tavern Museum,
Uh-huh,
which is on the actual site of the tavern that David Crockett's parents owned and
okay,
where Crockett spent his boyhood.
okay,
It's obviously the building is a reproduction. They have all kinds of artifacts. It's a wonderful museum. It's open May through October, so it will be open in the heavy travel seasons.
right,
That's a must see, especially for kids love that museum.
mhm,
Another one of our museums is the General Longstreet Museum, which is a Civil War museum. General James Longstreet spent the winter of 1862-63 in this area and used this house as his headquarters. And of course, the interesting thing about East Tennessee East Tennessee was very much divided during the Civil War. There were folks who fought for the Union and folks who fought for the Confederacy.
Right.
And this museum tries to tell the story of both.
Right.
It's a great educational museum as well. And a really neat thing is the museum director, who's a fairly young guy. He is also a professional tailor, and he makes all of the reenactment uniforms for a lot of the reenactment groups.
Hmm.
So not only are you going to learn history, you're going to learn uniform history as well.
Right.
And
Very
then
cool.
we've got our downtown. We are known for our second story sidewalk system.
I saw that on one of the pages on the website, and I was like, "Wow, how'd they do that? Or what happened that they did that?"
That was an urban renewal project in the
Okay.
1960s.
Okay.
Main Street, Turkey Creek runs underneath Main Street.
Okay.
And so Main Street, unfortunately, was the recipient of a lot of flooding. During the early 60s, there was a big urban renewal push for downtown. Turkey Creek was rerouted, and the business and store owners along Main Street paid to have this elevated sidewalk put in and also to generate second story business, be it for offices or apartments or things
Mhm.
like that. Right now, we have an art gallery above one of the businesses on the second story. A lot of it are offices. There are several photography studios up there. There are several residencies up there. A lot of the building owners are now working on their second and third floors to decide what they're going to do up there. And there are a lot of very ambitious plans. So we're
Very
really
nice.
excited about that.
Okay. So I am curious if, and I am gonna have to put you on the spot, I'm sorry about this, but if I come visit your town and I want a good breakfast or a lunch, where's that first place that's gonna come to mind? Because 'Cause I'm a foodie, I like my coffee, I have to have my tea, my unsweetened iced tea, but where are you gonna send me?
There are two places for breakfast:
Okay.
Hillbilly's Cabin
Okay.
or the Davy Crockett Restaurant.
Okay.
I'll go ahead and tell you my personal favorite for
That's
breakfast
okay. Alright.
is Hillbilly's Cabin.
Okay.
The best home fries on the face of the earth.
Alright.
Yeah, and they do a bit everything they have, it's good, but I like a good breakfast, and
Okay.
their breakfasts are awesome
Okay.
and pretty reasonable.
Okay. And if for the kids, and if I'm going to take a souvenir home with me, what am I gonna take?
Oh, wow.
Besides the disc, besides the disc.
I would say that the kids could do something in at the Pig Pig,
Okay,
Pig Pottery Studio. I'd go in and make your own souvenir.
okay, fair
That's what
enough.
I would recommend. Or
Now
you can always get something at one of the 2 museums.
okay,
But I think if you want something that no one else would have,
right,
you would make something at Pink Pig.
okay. Now, I'm also a photographer, and there's a lot of photographers in the OWAA. Where's in the Morristown area that you serve, where's the go-to spot? Like, you have to have a photo with this in your background, or you sitting on it or in front of it. Where's that go-to place?
Well, you're obviously going to want to get a picture of downtown with the overhead sidewalks.
Okay,
And there are a lot of great photographs of that. You definitely are going to want to get a photograph of Cherokee Lake from the overlook at Panther Creek State Park. Those two are the ones that I see most of from people posting on Facebook after they've been here.
okay, very good.
And
Now
really
you
anywhere out at Panther Creek State Park is wonderful.
okay, and I imagine the birding is also very good at the park because
Yeah,
again, there's a lot of birders. I like
yeah.
photography and Uh, others like to just to bring their scopes and check out the birds. Okay.
Right.
What's the bird? Maybe if, hopefully you know this answer, and if not, we'll find it. We'll find it. But what's the bird that's so well known within your area that people like it? Like where I grew up in Michigan. Well, I grew up in Michigan. I live in Chicago. I had cardinals at the beginning of the spring. That's when I knew the winter was ending and spring was coming. Is the cardinals would come back. So what's that bird, that chirping sound that like, okay, the season's changing, weather's gonna warm up. What's that go-to bird?
Cardinals.
Cardinal? Okay.